is just fantastic.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to a new vlog.
Hi, my name's Amber. I make good content.
So I just straightened my hair. I'm about to do my makeup. So I do want to talk about something, and I kind of mentioned it in my live stream.
This would be why no one saw it then. Because no one's going to your live streams beyond those sick idiots that like to feed on your feederness. Yeah? No one's clipping you, no one's sharing it. Because you block it. Only members can view it, and no one's wasting money doing that. This is another reason why your channel's going down the drain. I haven't mentioned the like to dislike, by the way. I really should. At time of recording, it's 605 upvotes to 2.2k down. Top comments. No one is believing the title of the video. Getting hit on by my DoorDasher. Yeah, no, Amber. The only people that find you attractive at this stage of your life are those that are into feeder content.
I'm petting the baby boys. He's laying right next to me. He has been glued to my hip. He has always been glued to my hip. But normally he has like a few different like laying spots. But lately it's like those laying spots don't exist. He's just literally glued to my hip. And he has one paw on my leg. It's so cute.
I'm the only one that thinks that the timing of Amber referencing pets couldn't be more coincidental because of what's going on with Foodie Beauty, someone she is quite fond of. With Foodie Beauty getting rid of or not getting rid of, getting rid of, not getting rid of, getting rid of, not getting rid of the cat. Smokey, who by the way I would happily welcome into my home. That cat would be given the bestest of lives and there wouldn't be a calendar made of them.
I wanted to talk about something that I mentioned like in my live stream. I have been doing a lot of talking in my live stream, not so much in my YouTube videos.
Yeah, only because you're paid to talk, Amber, in those live streams, and you do talk in your videos, but you don't talk about anything of substance, which is reflected in your views, which are continuing to go down. Once your viewership in your videos is gone, you'll be a full-time live streamer, but you won't be able to rely on members-only streams because that won't be enough, because there won't be enough new people willing to come in and listen to you prattle on about things you say you've done while doing nothing at the same time. I've said it multiple times. If you actually want to do something, go do it. Live stream that. Live stream building Lego because that's actually quite popular. Live stream your journaling, the scrapbooking, anything, the doodles. Anything you do that's creative, live stream it. Because actually, that is content. This, not so much. Yet somehow you're able to pay your bills with what you do, which is essentially ticking over.
But I've decided that I'm not going to be doing Let's Talk videos at all. Or if I do, it is going to be different.
Oh, would you look at that? I was right. A few videos ago I had speculated Let's Talk was going to be, let's say, cancelled and or replaced with something else. Because you can't commit to the bit. But also you can't justify wasting time with that valuable editing you do on your phone when you could instead be eating.
I don't want my channel to be reflected around rumors, hate, drama. And I know a lot of people, like when Chantel was going through like the whole cat thing and like people were like, oh my gosh, she's gonna go to prison. People were like coming at me with, Amberlynn, you're boring. I'm gonna go to Chantel's channel. That's more entertaining.
So there's a lot to unpack here, and I'll do it in a very short space of time. Firstly, Chantel is vastly more entertaining than you, yes, but you still get more views. People are going to you commentary on it because, or telling you they're going to Chantel because of your lack of action, lack of activity, lack of anything really. You do nothing. In fact, you cherry pick questions for those Let's Talk videos. You pay people on Fiverr to ask you questions. It's hilarious. You are wasting money and time. People's time. Time is a commodity. You waste it. You waste what little life and time you have left with that kind of tripe.
Amberlynn, you need to like add a side character, a girlfriend, a caretaker, or you're gonna lose views. I don't care.
Well, you heard it here, guys. You can all stop watching Amberlynn Reid now, because Amber doesn't care about Amberlynn Reid anymore. Amber, you are a slave for views like everyone else. You may not have made much content recently, but you are reliant solely on older content because if you based it on your current content, you would do worse than me, monetarily anyway. You are in decline. You can claim not to care, but you do need someone else there because all you do is nothing. The problem you've got is you're an extroverted introvert, and every person you've dated is an introverted introvert or has their own life introvert. You need to be an extrovert and a continuous one. but you don't have the right chemistry with anyone because of how selfish you are to be something better. That's reality, by the way. We all have limitations. You've yet to hit yours, when it comes to your size especially, but you do need somebody in your content that I've been saying for years, because you are without anyone there, you are completely impotent as a creator. The only time you've ever shown any passion, interest, or attempts at being creative involved you playing with your chest and a cookie in a video I wish had been sent my way.
I would rather like have my sanity over making large amounts of money.
You're only saying that because you still make good money. Don't try and tell us otherwise, because this is your only real source of income. If you want to debunk that, go nuts, but actually provide receipts if you're going to try and debunk it. Also, you're basing this on the idea, the concept, the narrative that you still have sanity. You're over 500 pounds and think you know what's best for your body. You have no sanity and no leg to stand on when it comes to making statements like that. You can try and seem removed and above, but you are not, because your spine is being compressed by gravity and your weight being aided by gravity. There is nothing there in your head that is in any way sane. It hasn't been that way for a long time, Amber.
As long as I can get by in life, like, I'm happy about that.
Show me how much you spend a month on food, and then I'll tell you how much of a slave for views you really are.
I have been just feeling so much better mentally. I've been taking Zoloft for a month now, and I feel the effects of it. I feel it working, and I notice it in multiple areas of my life.
Oh really? Well, that's fantastic news that you're reliant on a pill to make yourself feel happier, rather than doing anything with it to make your life definitively better. So that's the point of medication. It's there to help you, especially when it comes to mental health, but it's there as an aid while you do more to help yourself. In your case, the one thing you really need to do is a physical activity to reduce your weight, because that will undoubtedly be causing you more problems. It would explain why you've been so inactive, sure, but actually with what you've been telling us, like the previous gap being a tooth issue, you could have actually made content with that and raised awareness. You could have used it as an opportunity like you have done with all your other crying sessions about other ailing health problems you like to milk, yet prove nothing about whether or not it's real or not. See where I'm going with this? You're very selective. If we are to believe Zoloft is working, which is fantastic, of course, I want your mental health to be as best it can be, you would surely be seeking to do more to prove that. Your inactivity contradicts it.
If people only watch me for drama, then that's not going to be here. I'm not just going to like create drama and create let's talk videos.
Amber, you don't create anything, and you rarely ever talk about drama unless it's to make it seem like you're above it. Don't try your audience like this. What little audience you have left. We're not so stupid as to not notice. You gaslight them on a regular, rather than simply take accountability when you screw up, because you can never be wrong, even though your weight is still going up. You are so reliant on pills these days just to keep your body ticking over. And I think it's very odd to me, you are so much younger than me, yet you're the one who is ticking over, whereas I'm the one that is proactive. I'm at the stage of my life where I'm old enough where I can take the foot off the pedal a little bit, but I don't. You took your foot off the pedal 5 years ago. You weren't even in your 30s then. If anyone needs to put their foot down now, it's you.
There's going to be rumors about me. People are going to speculate about me. That's part of the job, if you will. But nothing I say will ever be believed by those who believe the rumors just for their entertainment.
There's one glaringly obvious reason why. First of all, what you dub rumor has been proven to be verifiable fact now, like the washcloths. Which, by the way, if you would like me to create a washcloth sanctuary, yes, I'm thinking of doing it for a lol, in my office, I will do this. It was a suggestion. It might happen. If it's anything about your relationships, your exes have pretty much outed you fully on that. The reason people don't believe you is because you never provide any evidence. You just say it and follow up with, "Believe me, guys." Kinda hecticana. The inflections are pissing me off, if you couldn't tell.
And I just know that I'm better than that. I'm better than constantly like making myself a spectacle. I
Talk an awful lot of cow plop. Yes, I did that on purpose. You are not better than that. You know that. You think you are. This is where we know you have some problems in your head, where you are clearly deluded. Your narcissism is ridiculous. is actually at a level that you don't deserve. You are but a lowly oik creator like the rest of us. And all the rumours that exist, you never addressed in your Q&As. You never did. You just sat there and answered questions that were fed to you that you wrote yourself.
I know that I am better than constantly talking about these speculations and these rumors.
Newsflash, you're not. I'm going to skip ahead slightly in your video to perhaps get to something relevant to the title. Perhaps the DoorDash story. Because I don't believe for a second anyone knowingly wanted to hit on you.
So, I got a call to my phone yesterday morning, and I was like, hello? They're like, you have flowers in the lobby that are being delivered to you, and I was literally so confused. You guys, I have some of the most amazing friends, like, in the whole world. A friend of mine sent me flowers, and they're honestly so beautiful. It's just, they know that I had a lot going on, and then the whole thing with my tooth, and I don't know, it's things like that just literally like brighten my day. Look.
Okay, first of all, we all know you sent them to yourself. Second, no one cares. Third, you say you have a lot going on, including the tooth. Okay. If that's the case, why is it nothing you say when you have a lot going on, none of that features in any of your content as a vlogger? Your vlog is the very literal term of video log. A Dear Diary entry that could just go on Wattpad with your poetry. Next you're going to start singing and auto-tuning that, aren't you? Or are you going to reverb it up like Chantal does?
So I have been in my like soft food era. Extremely soft food ever since getting my tooth removed.
Amber, you've been eating cottage cheese for months, nay years, along with dollops of mustard and other soft foods. That was before you had your tooth removed. Your era, no. Where's the DoorDash story? I still haven't found it.
But I'm now able to venture out. So I've been having steamed dumplings because they're still super soft. And I have them with a ramen. It's just what I've been eating lately. All I can really get down without like messing up the healing.
No one cares, Amber. No one cares about the tooth being removed. Not that you proved it. No one cares that you're eating soft foods because you've always eaten soft foods anyway. No one cares that it's dumplings. I'm intrigued to know what your weight is though, because if you've been having a restricted food diet, have you been compensating by what? Adding water to chips? And I say chips, what you call chips that we call crisps, to soften them so you can shovel those in your face as well. I'm curious about that. Not much else when it comes to what you're doing food-wise, so we're going to skip ahead to DoorDash because Amber has to have takeaway.
So these dumplings are super easy. You just put them in the microwave. It says for 1 minute 45 seconds, but I do it for 2 minutes. It does come with a little sauce pack, but I don't use that because I just put these literally in my soup. I've also been living off of ice cream. It has just been torture. You think that like eating ramen and ice cream would be great and grand, but like I miss crunchy things. I miss
weighing 200 pounds less and not having side rolls that actually are separate pockets of life. What? I don't care what you miss eating, Amber. If your healing has been a palaver, which is what you said in a clip that I've actually clipped from this, I've removed it because it seemed redundant, chances are you've not been obeying the rules when it comes to having teeth extracted. By the way, it's not overly difficult. I've had a molar at the back next to a wisdom removed, okay? I didn't have to change my eating at all. I just had to pay more attention how I chewed. I guess this is a consequence of being over 500 pounds. You now actually have to pay attention to what goes in your mouth. Not that you care or take accountability because you don't look like you've lost so much as a pound of weight. We've still yet to get a single weigh-in with those new scales of yours that I fully expect you to throw away in the not so distant future because they're triggering to you.
Hello. So it has been like 4 or 5 days since I have vlogged. So I woke up a few days ago and my throat was so dry. Like, I have never felt anything like that ever, and super raspy, and I'm sure you guys can maybe tell my voice just does not sound right. But I don't feel sick per se. I feel a bit fatigued.
Since all you do in your content is sit on a couch, stand in front of a bookcase with books that are never opened, or loiter around your kitchen, making it seem like you're doing something when really you're doing nothing and recapping, no one cares about this either, Amber. I can promise you no one does. Why? Because you don't do much content by the standards of what content is. You put less effort in than I do at the moment. I really do need to bring the avatar back, I know. I'll get there. You are a full-time vlogger channel. It's not a mukbanger because you know you'd be demonetized. You don't do anything. So you telling us you've done nothing for 4 days and then citing an excuse? Yeah, no one cares, because they expect it from you. I partially expect you to blame the audience for having a raspy, dry throat, voice moment situation type of deal. Sorry, deal? It's kind of hectic.
So the DoorDasher story, it's like irrelevant now, but during my Tuesday live stream, I was talking about like how I've been eating a lot of ramen lately. And so after I got off of live stream, I DoorDashed ramen because I had no more. And the guy, like when he handed it to me, because I always go outside and I get my stuff. I don't want them to have to go through the lobby, figure it all out, blah, blah, blah. So I always go outside. And he winked at me and I was like, oh my God. And I usually like can catch a vibe. I can tell when someone's like into me. And I've never had this happen to the point of like the person literally messaging me.
I'm curious as to whether or not you'd ever provide some kind of evidence of it. You see, you've already put them on blast in video form, right? You've crossed a line in this respect because this person now knows you've put them in your content without naming them, but they'll know exactly who you're referencing, right? Why don't you prove it then? You may as well go the whole hog and show some proof of it, messaging wise anyway. Just to be clear here, I don't condone it. I also don't think Amber should be mentioning them. If you're going to commit to the bit of doing nothing, you may as well not make up stories as well. It's not going to make you any more interesting, I can promise you that.
On my DoorDash. So he literally messaged me and he was like, it was so good to see you. You're so beautiful. And then like he asked if I was single and I was just like, what is happening? I mean, it definitely gave me a little pep in my step because I haven't been feeling the greatest like physically due to like my tooth and whatnot. I just didn't know that like DoorDash drivers could like literally hit on you in like the DMs on there. Like I'm literally shook about it. And yeah, so that was like a random moment in time.
Oh, would you look at that? Egg on my face, it would seem. You've shown a message of something. That's interesting. The other interesting point is the misuse and overuse of the word literally. First of all, it's figuratively, and you don't need to use it more than once to drive home your point. Much like people who have to insert profanity every 5 words because they're lacking intelligence, and those that shout during discussions because they think they have to be heard. What you're doing is proving how much your IQ is in the ground. You're welcome.
I have been more on the show grind lately. I haven't been watching as much YouTube. I feel like YouTube is kind of toxic, and here I am uploading to YouTube. It's my job.
That's going to be the last clip I bothered to insert from your video, but I do have a couple points for it. Firstly, there is in fact a niche online of people that do recaps of TV shows that could well benefit you to do. It really could, but that involves you actually doing something for a change. 2, YouTube being toxic. Now that's interesting. I don't know if it's so much toxic, but I do think YouTube have a problem that I'll happily mention at the end of this video, knowing that there's little chance of them ever hearing it. The problem is, shorts are now flooding the entire platform with AI bot-generated farmer-for-click content that's all stolen from TV shows and the same regurgitated memes over and over again with the same person not doing anything underneath it to make it seem like it's somehow uniqueness. It's why shorts have tried their best to take or keep up with the likes of TikTok, and creativity's gone down the drain. In favour of bot voices that are AI generated, more commonly David Attenborough's voice is used quite heavily. Older people voices actually quite common, AI generated music as well. Because why actually put any effort into creating content when you can just steal it from everyone else? And then skirt fair use because of the length of the content and what type of clips you use to frame a certain video. Take for example a video of a cat mother jumping constantly to get onto a roof and some kids laughing while the cat falls. The cat mother is jumping onto the roof because the kittens are on there because the children put them there to scare and harm the mum, but people use it as a, oh look, a dumb cat doing dumb things. I don't care for this, and this is what YouTube is becoming. YouTube know this, and they're not willing to do anything about it because it's the easiest money they've ever made. Shorts are worth virtually nothing, which is another reason why so many YouTube channels are getting to silver and gold play button status, but earning no money at the same time, meaning YouTube have had to reduce the size of the play buttons because they're costing a lot of money. Okay, make that make sense. I know that I have been lazy of late with my format in presentation especially, and I'm somebody that loves his avatar, I really do, but I have my own issues to deal with on that front. They're not copyright, just to be clear. In your case, Amber, It's not the platform's toxic, it's that you don't have the pull, and you don't want to make any changes to be a better creator. Some of us know where our place is. Yours was eating food. Because you're getting older and your health is deteriorating, your new shtick now is to tell us how your health is hectocana, and that's it. Oh, and your live streams, constantly live streams, that only people that have memberships can watch and listen to. This is why your audience is checking out. You have some pull, but it's heavily reliant on older content. If you're thudding, bingo, the French Bulldog wants you to know he's here. Yes, he's announced himself. You're all welcome. Now, we have reached the end of this video, and I'd love to know what you all think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. If you think anything she said was truthful, even with the screenshot of messages that look like Snapchat, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. I shall be streaming some Star Trekker on Twitch later. I hope to see you all there. If not, have a wonderful day, and thank you all very much for listening.